Hi everyone, lovely to see you. Oh, it's a warm one again. I know the heat wave has finished, but the warmth is still here in Devon. The sun is coming in, but yeah, making the most of it, keeping the summer leggings on whilst I can. We're going to get moving. We're going to take it gently. I'm going to keep a little lookout over here, and this is where I see if any of you are saying hello and just got anything to share with me, how things are for you today, how you're feeling. Anything you really like, particular sections that you like or ones that you don't like. It's always good to know. We're going to get started standing or sitting, but just jiggling and shaking a little bit. So you could be sitting on the edge of your bed. You could be sitting on a chair. You could be standing with some support close by because you get a little bit wobbly and you want something just in case. All good, just in case, you know it's there. I can see a few names just pop up there all at once, like a little gang. That's Irene, Jackie, and Jean. Hello. Now, Jean says, oh, I've been busy in the kitchen. Talking of the kitchen, there's something coming up at the end of September, that last week. The Undefeatable week. We are undefeatable. And this is looking at how to get movement spread throughout your day, especially if you struggle to find this special time, half an hour or whatever, to exercise. And so Virtual Village Hall are doing 12 o'clock every day. Mine is the 27th of September, so this must be starting on the 25th. And it's all around the house. Mine is in the kitchen. That's why I thought about it. But Leanne is doing one in the bathroom. There's other people, someone's doing one in a doorway. I'm trying to think, there's another one in the bathroom about balancing. I think that's with Dave. And there's the chair-based one, I think, with April. There's all sorts. So check it out. The post is starting to come up. But let's get started. Starting with a little bit of shaking. And you can shake really gently or maybe a bit more vigorously. It depends what you like. And any part of yourself that needs shaking. This might involve a little bit of bouncing and moving around, or it might be your feet stay on the ground or your bottom stays on that chair. And you're just gently giving everything a little jiggle. You might hear a little clink of my necklace. And if it helps, no one's watching. I can't see you. You can see me, and I don't mind. I'm quite used to doing this sort of stuff. And if it helps even more, you can let your gaze just go into the distance. You might even be able to shut your eyes, and then you're doing your wiggling and you're jiggling. Oh, like no one's watching. Like silent disco, but with no music. A little bit more, and then start to slow it gradually. And you feel there's still a little bit of movement. It just comes closer into the body and gets a bit stiller. It becomes a rocking and a swaying. And just let yourself gradually find your center. And that is what you're literally doing. You're just finding that bit in the middle where you're balanced. And now we can adjust things. So I'm going to take my feet and just put them into parallel. And when I look down, there's enough room for a book to go between your feet. I'm reading a great book at the moment, Lessons in Chemistry. I'm sure a lot of you have read it. I'm just loving it. Don't tell me what happens. I'm only like about a quarter of the way through. So just looking down there, right, that's set. Same if you're sitting. Now grow tall. So just feel your spine get longer, whether you're sitting, whether you're standing, maybe even taller. And then we're going to imagine around here, sitting or standing, a bowl of water. So bowl at the front has got your belly, bowl at the back has got your bottom. Here's the rim of the bowl. Pour the water over yourself. So you're pouring it backwards. And then pour it forwards. Backwards. Water's going this way. Forwards. Water's going that way. It's just the same if you're sitting. But keep that height. Keep reminding yourself, grow tall. Grow tall. If you like the crown, I often talk about the crown coming down. We put our crowns on. You can imagine that crown on top of your head. So your water is just tipping forwards, tipping backwards. And then make that smaller. So the water's moving, but it's not tipping over the top, and smaller. And find that Goldilocks place where that bowl feels balanced. Right from this point, we're just going to take the back of our head backwards a little, and your shoulders, it's like you're just about to lean against a wall. Almost there. And you feel the weight change in either your feet or your sitting bones. Let's turn our head a few times. Just going gently. We're not going to our maximum. We're just giving it a little bit of movement. Bring it back to the center. We're going to take the tip of our nose, take it down, rocking to one side and the other. This is a neck roll. So if you want something different for your neck roll, it's all good. Go for what works for you. Bring it back to the center. And then I'd like you to place your fist just on your chin. If I show you from the side, that's what it looks like. I'm trying to keep my neck long at the back. We're going to do a little bit of resistance. So I'm pushing my fist, this soft bit here with my thumb and finger, into my chin. And my chin is resisting and pushing slightly that way. The truth of it is, neither is going anywhere, but the force is there. And it's an equal sort of force. And we're just strengthening these extensors, the bit that hold our head up. And breathe. And then let it go. We'll do one more. I'm going to bring the other hand. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, push back and push forward. So you're pushing back with your hand, forwards with your chin. But really you go nowhere. There's just this feeling of resistance. And then let go. Let everything wiggle and jiggle again. And then we'll bring ourselves back against that wall, grow tall, and circle our shoulders. As big or as small as you want. Breathing in as they come forwards and up. Out as they go back and round. And just welcome the body orchestra that you may have of little cracks and clunks and pops. Shoulders, often there's a lot of stuff going on with the joints. There's lots of parts to them, so there can be quite a lot of noises. Never quite got to the bottom of what those noises are, but I think there is a theory about carbon dioxide bubbles in the fluid around the joints. Last one. Right, where are we going next? Oh yeah, let's go to our feet. So spread your toes out, lifting them up and down. Just your toes. And if you're sitting, you can even get down there and move your toes about with your hands if that's easier, and if bending that far forwards is accessible to you. Just getting that up and down. I'm going to stay sitting, hands on your chest, and you're going to rock backwards and forwards. As far as is comfortable to you, your back just stays straight. And your head's with your back. If you're standing, arms downwards. Oh, just bring my feet in a little, rock backwards and forwards. To be honest, if your feet are out a bit more, it doesn't matter. And now take it in different directions. And if you're feeling secure enough, close your eyes. If you're not, have that chair close by and just gaze into the distance. Maybe narrow your gaze a little, but know that you've got that support. Something's there for you to keep you steady. And then bring that back to the center. We're going to take our legs wide. See, I'm hitching the leggings up ready. Serious. Get your feet pointing outwards a little, just as much as is comfortable for you. It's like we're sliding down a wall if we're standing, so it looks like this. If your knees are uncomfortable, make it little, still sliding down a wall, so the back is still straight. And if you're in the chair, take your legs wide and press your feet downwards. If it helps to put your hands on top of your legs, might give you a little bit of sort of sensory feedback to help those feet push down. And as you push down, you might find you just come up a little, keep that tall feeling. And then next, we're going to alternate this with some elbow circles so we get a little flow. So we slide down that wall and then we circle an elbow back. Now, the higher your elbow goes, that pointy bit that's circling, the more your shoulder gets movement. Mine are a little sore at the moment, so you can see my elbows coming up to about shoulder height, but you might go up a little bit higher. You might go lower, could be down here. Next one's going to be different. We're going to send our bottom back, and it's more like a squat this time. So it might be you want a tiny micro bend in your knees, and then you push up and you do your elbow circles. If you're sitting, have your hands on your knees and hinge far forwards as far as you want to. Come back up, elbow circle. Helps to be further forward so you don't crush your arm into the back of the chair. I've just found that out. And what do you do with your arms if you're standing? Could be forwards like this. They could be on your legs, reminding your knees to just be outwards. That could be okay. Last one coming up. And then we're going to go into a little bit of balance. So start to bring your feet closer to each other and start to sway from foot to foot. You can feel your weight change either on your feet or if you're sitting, on your sitting bones. And then we're going to have less movement here, so less rocking. And we're going to start to pick our feet off the floor. So our balance is still changing. Absolutely, you can have that support. So it might be having a chair close by. It might be a table, might be fireplace or a worktop. Going back to that kitchen theme again. If you're sitting, I'd like you to take it up to your toe and hold it up. It might be your toes on the ground or it's just hovering. That's probably high enough because your legs are already at 90 degrees. So taking it higher, it starts to get very tight around here. So you can take it high if you want, but you'll find that bit can build up and get a bit uncomfortable. If you're standing, you just can't bring your knee up. And then we're going to start holding it. Now, I've got, my watch on today. Just looking at it, that made me wobble. And I'm just timing us a little bit, and I'm trying to get us up to a mystery time. Oh, I know how long it is, I'll tell you. 15 seconds, we've just done it. Right, have a little wiggle. And then we're going to do the other side. So just taking the weight on one side. Could be your toes just off the floor. Would be like that if you're sitting. It could be your knee can go a bit higher. Arms can go anywhere you like. Right, I'm just going to make sure I'm timing you. Little second bit on the bottom of the watch. We're doing well. Oh, and a bit of a wobble. Looking at your watch is definitely a bit of a wobble. It's good. Take it down. That was 15 seconds each side. It's something that you can do at home and you can measure it. You can keep a little log, maybe same day each week. You might even be able to keep a log on your phone or your, if you've got like a sports type watch, an Apple Watch or a Fitbit. Right, next, let's take it into the hips. So if you're standing, you might want to circle them around like this so the leg stays quite straight. And it's like the body sort of hinges and rotates around. If you're sitting, take the legs wide. And this is the same sort of movement. Don't get quite as much into the hips, a bit more into the sides really, but it's very similar. And then make sure you've gone both ways. And then let's go into the wrists. So gentle fists, that's the one. Small circles. And if you can't get a circle, if you've got a lot of stiffness, it might be up and down, side to side, any shape you can make. Get them going different ways. and then starting to open the fingers up. Always feel like it's sort of piano playing practice. Elbows are just resting at your waist, and then we'll start to open up a bit more. And at this point, when we're airing under our arms, we're making that infinity symbol and it's going into our shoulders. I've still got my legs quite wide from the last position we're in, that's okay. The next thing you can do is start to lean back a little. Don't even have to lean forwards. We spend so much time leaning forwards. But what you can do is stick your bum back, hinge forward straight back, and then lean back this way. So it's that hip hinge that we did before. And if you're sitting, that would look like this. Just try not to crash into the desk. But you can keep it upright. If that's what's working for you best, keep it upright. And you might occasionally just have that little chest upwards, like showing everyone an amazing necklace. That's it. Definitely breathing. Make this your last one. And then we're going to keep those legs wide. Bring our arms either, fingers are just either side of your head, or your hands can rest at your chest. Soften the knees. You're going to take the elbow down one side, or you think of the other elbow going up. That might be easier. And up. And then pull your elbows down towards your waist. I'll show you from the side and you can see what my arms are doing. I'll show you the other position. And then you definitely start tall at the beginning, so that grow tall feeling. Have as much height as you can. And then here, this way, it might feel better to think that your shoulder's going up and your shoulder goes up, and then the arms open and squeeze down. Or you can think about that elbow dipping down, open the arms up, squeeze down. We'll do one more. And then we're going to make it not quite down to the floor. We're going to go into an all fours position. And I know this is a position that can be really challenging if you've got knee issues. So it might be you're happy on the floor and you're going to put a cushion under your knees or fold your mat up. So you could be doing it that way. Risk can also be an issue, I know. So I'm going to give you alternatives. I will go on the floor in a second. Some people are happy with their knees on the floor and their arms like this on a chair or on a sofa. And you've got an all fours position. It's just a different sort of angle, but you could straighten your back. I'll be doing it down here. My back will be straight this way, but both are good. Another way you could do it is resting into, I'm going to do it against my desk, I think, like this. And that's another all fours. I'm slightly softer in the legs here, but I can start to do this sort of movement and move my legs out, and that's what we're going to do. Or you could even be upright against a wall, and we can do that same thing that we did with the water at the beginning. So I'm going to take myself down here. And first, we'll have a flat back. So you're just imagining that you're making, now it's either a horizontal table or a sloping table, but you're flat, and just watch that your head's not down here. It's in line with your back. And then we're going to let our belly go down and our bottom go up, and you find your head wants to go up. And then we're going to arch our back as high as we can. Your bum tucks under, and we're just going between those two. So it might look like this. It might look like this. And it might look like this. Take your time, use your breath, and inhale as you stick your bottom up, and the rest of your body follows. And then an exhale as your bottom goes under, and you take your back upwards. That rounding of your back. One more. And then the next position I'm going to take you in is the same thing, but I'd like you to just move your weight backwards and forwards. So if you're on all fours like this, you're just rocking. Your toes could be tucked under or your feet could be flat, whatever's more comfortable. And you might find that you like your weight towards the back, and that's okay. And you might like your weight towards the front. Same here. So that weight just goes this way, and you could definitely have a cushion underneath your knees. And same here. So your bottom will rock backwards and forwards this way. Your feet stay the same. Could even have your arms on the desk if that helps. And if you're doing it against a wall, it will look more like that. I'm trying to have my hands just stay still. And then the next thing I want you to do is draw a really big circle with your bottom. And I say circle, any sort of curvy shape will do. I'm not looking for like exact geometry at this point. And I'm going in both directions, so keep changing it up. Go one way and then go another. Fantastic. And then you can come off your hands and knees. You can come away from your desk. We're going to lie down. So I shall see you down there. Take your time, because I know the moving bit is that's the hardest bit. That's the bit that takes the longest. So just do it safely and comfortably for you. We will be on our backs. And when you get down there, have a wiggle of your hips, your shoulders, your head. Just give yourself a little time to get used to lying down. Check that your head is looking straight up. I know you might turn to look at me sometimes, but when you're lying down, just check you're looking up. And if it feels like your head is going back and your chin is going that way, you'll need something under your head. So you might want a cushion, something under the neck. I find sometimes I want one, sometimes I don't, just depending on how my head and neck feel. But I can see I'm looking straight up. Next thing we're going to do is let's have our legs together, feet out to the side, toes forwards. We'll take a breath in and a breath out. I don't mind where your arms are. Just few breaths to settle in. Breath in. Breath out on this next breath. With a breath in, I want your head to go longer. It's like your body grows longer, head and neck. So it goes more to the opposite wall. And you feel your neck just gets a bit longer. And then we're going to take our legs in towards our chest. Keep your hands under your thighs or on top of your knees. And we're going to circle each leg. So there are two separate circles going on here. You might do it with your feet together and your hands on top. Might have your hands underneath, it doesn't matter, but take it the other way. Perfect. And then take your feet downwards. And then next, we're going to do some little sways of our knees. So your feet are just resting on the floor, your legs are bent, arms are reaching down by the sides, palms can be upwards. We're going to take one knee out to the side, the foot stays on the floor. Just open us up between your legs, that space gets wider, and take it back. This area stays exactly where it is. Nice thing to do with your hands is to rest them here, because then you can feel if this is happening. So we're trying to keep everything else still, this leg still, this leg opens. And what you can do with this arm is just touch this leg. You don't need to force it, don't need to press it really hard, just hold it. And that might keep that leg just a little more still. And then this arm could just rest by your side. You've got this. And that's the last one. Let everything just sway and rock and be free for a moment. And then we're going to do the same on the other side. So let's start with the hands, just feeling what's going on here. The other knee is going to open outwards, so the gap between your legs gets wider. This knee stays still. And you can just be aware of what's happening with this leg. If I just tip my chin like this, I can see it having little tiny wobbles. So I'm going to put my hand just gently against it. It could even just be your fingertips. Whatever works for you. Could be that way. And you might find by doing that, this leg then moves slightly less because you've got more control. That's okay. Last one. Arms flow upwards. Rest the shoulders back down. Open your arms up. Let your shoulders spread on the floor. It's like you're going to run along in your dreams to hug somebody, and then closing it up. Palms are facing. Open up with your in-breath. And close with your out-breath. There's like the imaginary ball between them. And this ball gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then smaller and smaller and smaller. Bigger and bigger and bigger. Feel more of your t-shirt coming onto the floor as you open up. And your arms might reach entirely to the floor, or you might be hovering. Smaller and smaller and smaller. One more with this imaginary ball. And it's getting bigger and smaller. And then take the arms down. We're going to bring our legs in together. We're nearly out of time. I've still got more to do. We'll fit it in. Right. Squeeze your legs together. Arms are just resting by your sides. Could be further out if that's comfortable. One knee opens outwards. Comes back. And now squeeze the knees together. Same leg. Foot comes outwards. Comes back in. Other side. Knee opens outwards, comes back in. Foot goes out and comes back in. Float your arms up. I know I'm working you hard today. One knee comes out, and then the feet and the knees are together. Foot comes out, knees stay together. Comes back in. Check that your shoulders are okay. Give them a little wriggle. Other knee goes out. Forgot what I was doing. Comes back in. Squeeze them together. Foot goes out. Squeeze them together. Open those arms up again. Close them up. Last one. Knee goes out and in. Foot goes out and in. Another knee goes out. Squeeze in. Keep those legs together. Foot out and in. Arms out, wide legs. So I'm just pivoting my feet and toes out, and then dipping one knee down and the other knee goes out to the other side. You might, if I shuffle around, the legs here, you're looking for a sort of 90-degree angle, I say sort of, because I'm not going to measure you, and we're not looking for a perfect shape. We're looking for what your legs are happy to do. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, pull yourself back to the mat so you feel your back and your bottom are on it again, and then let your legs go the other way. Take a breath in. We're going to do it one more time each side. So swapping over, using this area here, sort of pulling that back to the floor. Let your head turn the other way. It might be a little, or you might turn right over. It depends what feels good. So just go in your comfortable range of movement. Breath in. Breathing out, swapping the legs over, swapping the head over. And then bring it back to the center. Heel toe, your legs inwards. Roll onto your side, pushing yourself up. And take yourself to a seated position. You might be on your bed, so you could be sitting on the edge of your bed. You might be sitting on the floor. You might want to move yourself onto a chair. Arms are out by your sides. That big ball is back. We're going to take our arms and just drape our bodies over this big ball, but stay long. It's a massive high ball and we're draping right over the top. That's it. And then open outwards. Take your arms behind you a little. You could bend your elbows. You could push behind you and push away from the floor. Feel your chest go up. You might find that you're just looking up a little. You don't want to squash the back of your neck. A bit of space behind there is nice. Let's breathe in and drape ourselves over the top of a ball. Keep some length and height in your spine. And then open out. Send your chest up a little. One more. Draping over the top of that ball. Opening out. I'm going to push behind for this one, but you could have your arms floating. And then turn your arms so your palms are outwards. Scoop the air, breath in. Bring your hands together. Bring them to your chest. Give yourselves a clap. Thank your body for all it has done for you today. And it's got more to come. Well done. I shall see you next week. Don't forget to check out the We Are Undefeatable week. There's more information on the Virtual Village Hall feed. And I can see that Catherine's written some in there. Namaste to Irene. There's a little link in the Virtual Village Hall as well. You can find out more there. Look out for these 5-minute activities coming up. Thank you, Jean. I'll see you all soon. Have a good week. Bye.